too.
Good evening, everyone. This is Tammi Davis, live on location at the African American Mayors Association in Washington, D.C., with the Honorable Johnnie Ford, who just recently received the President's Award. And I'm going to give him the opportunity to speak those wonderful words of history and encouragement that he gave in his acceptance speech. Mayor Ford?
The most important thing is it is just good to be alive and be recognized by my fellow mayors. It is a great honor to be recognized by your peers. The most important thing I want to say is that the African American Mayors Association is now well, it's alive. It grew out of the National Conference of Black Mayors, which we had to bankrupt in order to start a new organization. This organization now represents more than 500 African American mayors from across the country. This is an organization that got its start way back in 1972 when 8 African American mayors came together at my invitation. And because we were able to organize the Alabama Conference of Black Mayors, we grew that into the Southern Conference of Black Mayors, and later into the National Conference of Black Mayors, and then in 1984, the World Conference of Mayors. Today, I have the honor now of serving as the founder and the director general of the World Conference of Mayors, and also as the president of the Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance, an organization that was inspired by the late Booker T. Washington, who was not only a great educator, but he promoted African Americans organizing their own towns across America. So it is good to be in Washington, D.C. at the annual meeting of the African American Mayors Association. We send a message to America today that this organization is not only alive, but it is strong, it is growing, and we are prepared to go back across America to save our cities. It is the mayors who have the responsibility for the cities of America. We are the lions of the cities, and we shall do whatever is necessary to keep our cities safe, to keep our cities strong, and to make sure that America builds a foundation on strong cities across the nation. Thank you.
Well, as they say in the church, amen and amen. This is the Honorable Johnnie Ford of Tuskegee, Alabama. Can you share some of that history, as you were mentioning some of the first black mayors in the country?
Well, we started out with just 8 African American mayors in Alabama. Then we joined in 1973 in Fayette, Mississippi, with Mayor Charles Evers, who is the brother of Medgar Evers, who was assassinated, as you know, as a great civil rights leader. And then, of course, we came together in Tuskegee, Alabama in 1973 in December, where at that meeting at the Holiday Inn, we organized the Southern Conference of Black Mayors, elected A.J. Cooper as our first president, and Charles Ross as our vice president from Lincolnville, South Carolina. That was the beginning of the Southern Conference of Black Mayors. Maynard Jackson became the mayor of Atlanta, and then other mayors from across the country like Tom Bradley in Los Angeles, Coleman Young in Detroit, Harold Washington in Chicago, Dave Dinkins in New York, Wilson Good in Philadelphia. At one point, 8 out of the 10 largest cities in America, those cities were headed by African American mayors. And so the National Conference of Black Mayors became the voice of black people in the cities of America. Not only were we able to grow that organization here in this country, we reached out and joined together with our fellow mayors in Africa, in Banjul, the Gambia, which became the ancestral home city and sister city of Tuskegee, Alabama. Dakar, Senegal, Monrovia, Liberia, the People's Republic of China, and the Republic of China on Taiwan, Japan. And so out of that base, we developed a World Conference of Mayors, Conférence Mondiale des Mayors, the World Conference of Mayors, which I have the honor now of serving as the founder and director general. And so we are on the move because the mayors of cities, just like the governors of the state and the President of the United States of America, mayors are in a pivotal leadership role. And that is why we say that those of us who are mayors, we're going to do whatever is necessary to save our cities and to grow our cities. And I'm just honored tonight to accept this award on behalf of my constituents and people who we have worked so hard for and with in Tuskegee, Alabama, but also on behalf of the World Conference of Mayors, the Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance, the National Policy Alliance, and I have the honor of also serving as the chair of the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS. And I want to thank the African American Mayors Association for passing a resolution unanimously today calling upon mayors to take a leadership role in the fight against HIV/AIDS, which is taking the lives of so many of our people, and hepatitis C. There's a cure for hepatitis C, and you'll be hearing more about the work that the mayors will be doing to help save people from this dreaded disease. We're also happy to be working with the Morehouse School of Medicine and the Satchel Institute in helping to make our cities safe. And so I'm just delighted, and we have only just begun. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. Brother?